If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the filthy capitalist option. As Sori says, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and then get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at vinsori@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go on the village, facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy merch indeed. A child shall lead them.
To buy our merch.
Yes, dear listener. Yes, dear listener. Yes, dear listener. We are in the midst of a metalhead reacting to hip-hop stream.
The West Side East Side stream,
West Side East Side stream brought to you by the big homies.
Yes, we have DJ Mike, and we also have DJ Negative Vibes on tonight. So the next song on our list is EMC Sinatra, Empty Pockets.
I don't know why you keep calling it silly. I didn't think it was silly. I thought it was pretty deep there, Kai. I don't know what you mean by silly. But, okay, let's do it.
Oh, yeah, that I was like, I thought maybe there was another email because he had sent the lights. So I was like, maybe that's what he was referencing for silly. But I didn't even think the lights were silly. So I was a little confused by that, too.
All right, let's do it. Empty Pockets, EMC, Sinatra, let's go.
Let's go.
Oh, man, the horn again. The horn again.
Whoa, he goes back.
Remember when I didn't have a place to sleep. Looking back at when I didn't have no food to eat. My parents argue when I don't know how long I could take it. I'd be a coward if I broke to every situation, but I made it, so could you. Look at what they put me through. Breathing in a living hell, but I don't want no different shoes. These streets are cold, come walk with me through Alaska. My mom left my dad, so for 3 years they called me bastard. I was going through it tough, I ain't never had enough, but it turned me to a young man that just don't give a fuck. While they searching for the best high, throwing up the west side, I'm stressing over here trying to figure how to get shit right. And ever since I lost my dog, it's getting hard to cope. But he gon' live through me and I'ma make it for us both. My girl's been telling me I ain't the same, I know it's true, but tell me where your head will be if your friend died in front of you.
I don't wanna feel this pain no more. These blue skies don't feel the same no more. Tryna go, they wanna bring me down. I swear they don't wanna see me smile. I don't wanna feel this pain no more. These blue skies don't feel the same no more. Tryna go, they wanna bring me down. I swear they don't wanna see me smile.
I shed a tear for every kid that's in a broken home. I put my fist up in the air for every soldier gone. Cause ever since they took my brother, man, my life's been different. And plus my girl just left me cause she said I'm acting distant. But what the fuck do they expect from me? Feeling so alone at home, I feel it especially with Matilda right next to me. Crying while I would listen to songs, the music would set me free. Write it down, Jay was telling me the pen is there to set me free. So I scribbled my misery and it went down in history. Inspire people listening, I still had empty pockets, but I felt rich off life. If I could start from scratch, then I relive it twice. We on this earth to serve a purpose, then we pass away. If God would answer all my questions, I stay there asking for days. And even though I never hear him, I just know I'll be okay. I tell my sister it's alright, one day we both gonna be okay.
I don't wanna feel this pain no more. These blue skies will feel the same no more. I'm trying to go, they wanna bring me down. I swear they don't wanna see me smile. I don't wanna feel this pain no more. These blue skies will feel the same no more. I'm trying to go, they wanna bring me down. I swear they don't wanna see me smile.
That was EMC Sinatra.
Yeah.
That,
I'm with it.
Yeah, that one was interesting because I was talking about the hip hop I grew up with.
Yeah.
And the only time you could express any sort of sadness was when you lose one of your folks. Mm-hmm. One of your folks dies.
And then
but
here's the
he was talking about, I don't know. It looked like he was talking about his mental health overall,
yeah,
and about how people didn't want to. So this is this is what I'm saying about like the new generation of hip hop. They're not as lyrical. I'll agree. And I judge whether or not somebody's lyrical by whether or not I think I'm as good or better than them.
Okay.
So if I'm as good or better than you, then I feel like you're a trash rapper.
Oh.
Okay, but okay. So here's what I'll say about this generation. There's a lot of rappers in just this generation where I'm like, me and him are pretty close. I you know, or the cold like Minnesota guy. You know. But what I will say about this generation of rap is they seem to be a lot more vulnerable and open about their emotions.
That's so good, yeah.
Than the rap that I grew up on.
Yeah.
So that I could say to the new generation is a real kudos, because I feel like we were limited growing up as far as like the range of I feel like we could have had some real classics by some, like if Jay-Z would have allowed himself to be really vulnerable. He's got a song called Lucky Me, but again it's still more, you know, bravado. You know, told the judge didn't budge, it was him or me. I wasn't trying to be hard, but I'm guilty as charged. You know, like
I thought he did one in response to Beyonce.
Yeah, but that even that wasn't very like raw.
Okay.
I mean, it was basically him saying, I made a mistake, I'm sorry, that type of thing. But it wasn't really like
okay.
You couldn't like get like this guy, you could tell he's been through some shit.
Yeah.
You know, and he's
well, that's what I was gonna say. Like
contemplating.
maybe lyrically he's not super deep, or maybe he's not as good. But what he communicated when he was doing his lyrics, like I felt like I was in the room with someone in that situation. Like I felt like I was talking to like I was hearing from a real person. So I thought he did really communicating.
Damn, when I saw King in the title, I was hoping it would be King Von. I cannot. I don't even understand myself, like the draw of a guy like Von, why he's so fascinating. I was just thinking about him today. Rest in peace, King Von. Unbelievable. Yeah. Unbelievable. So sad. So sad. Yeah, so he's talking about like the things that he's been through. I don't want to feel this pain anymore. These guys don't seem the same anymore. I'm trying to guard it, but I want to bring me down. As you go up, he says, you know, he didn't have a place to sleep, didn't have a place to eat, and I'd be a coward if I broke down every situation. That's a... Yeah, go ahead.
I thought the saddest part was, you know, obviously it's the relationship part, guys. But when he was saying like he had lost his friend or whatever, and then like he was so different that then she broke up with him because he was too distant. It's like, how much do you expect from somebody? They just lost somebody. You want them to just be regular? Like,
yeah,
that's so weird. What do you mean, yeah, with that long hesitation? What does that mean?
Well, because I just, look, people, everybody has expectations of what they think people are going to do for them. But in reality, I'll be careful about how I say this. There are very few people in your life that are going to hit the ideal of friendship or parent or spouse.
Right. Yeah.
In the real world, when it really costs somebody to be your friend, when it really costs somebody to associate with you, there are very, 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 very few people that are going to be in it for the long haul with you. Most of the time, I mean, I know me personally, you know, when I lost my mom, like, the person I was with at the time wasn't particularly supportive. Especially considering the way that my mom went out, the same way her mom went out, so you'd figure there was
some understanding.
There was none. And I, as much as I can think about, I don't have any real negative feelings to her about that, or about other people. You know, there were people that knew, like, that my life was like on fire, and were basically like, well, we still need you to do X, Y, Z, and all the rest of it. And look, man, at the end of the day, like, those people, I was doing something for those, they were getting something out of me or something like that. And so they didn't want to lose that. So me and what I was going through, yeah, that sucked, but they had stuff that they were going through, and I was helping, you know, whatever with them. So I understand it. I mean, I look at objectively speaking, if it was me, I would never let a person, like, what I was going through that time period, like, I would have never, I'd have been like, dude, take a break, blah, blah, blah.
100%, yeah.
I mean, it got to the point, like, you remember, like, when I got called up on trips, I'd be, like, happy I wouldn't have to do, you know, like, I'm like, this is pretty much a red flag.
Yeah. Yeah, really. Like, oh my God.
I'm spinning out and everybody's like, oh man, like, oh, you know, we gotta get home. Everybody's like, oh, we gotta get home, you know, we gotta make sure everybody's safe, everybody get home clean or whatever. I'm like, yes, I'm going, yes. And maybe, you know.
Oh my gosh, that's so bad. Wow, that is so crazy.
That's why I took more risks than everybody, because you know, they thought I was trying to be a badass. It really just you know, so like I understand, like, you want people to be there for you and all the rest of it. You know that phrase, be kind, everybody's fighting a hard battle.
Yeah.
It's like, you have to think about that too when people are like betraying you or not fulfilling their obligations as your friend in friendship or whatever. Like, you just got to understand, they're fighting a hard battle too, man. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I mean, they sold you out to make life better for themselves or make life not as hard for themselves, but they did a calculation. That's all they could do. And how can you resent somebody for that weakness? Like me, like, I'll never talk to you again. But I'm not going to sit there and sit there in, like, resentment and anger and, like, ridiculous. Like, they did what they needed to do for themselves in that moment. They're just communicating to you, I'm not somebody you should invest more time in.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If somebody's doing that to you, they're not in a space, or I'm not in a space where I could invest time with you then, if that's what you're saying. But I'm not going to say that you're a horrible person because you couldn't come through and be the support that I needed you to be. I think that's a self-focused way of looking at why people are the way they are. Listen, if you're friends with somebody, there's something about them, or you're the girlfriend or boyfriend, there's something about them that you liked. Mm-hmm. So when they didn't come through for you in that particular point, those things don't get deleted. So that's me. I'm like, well, I mean, I was around this person for X amount of years. We enjoyed the time together. Like, we don't have to put superimpose some other thing on top of it to where I say, okay, but yeah, they were horrible the whole time. Like, no, like, you were great, and then the friendship got tested at a certain level. And you demonstrated that we were not friends at that level. That doesn't make you bad.
Yeah.
It doesn't make you a bad person. It doesn't make you horrible. It doesn't make me a victim. It doesn't make you. It just means that was the level of our friendship, and you had to do whatever to protect yourself. I understand that. I'm just not. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna waste time. I have a very keen understanding of my mortality, so I'm not gonna waste time with you anymore. And that doesn't mean you're a waste. It just means, me personally, the way that I do relationships, it would be a waste of time for both of us, because now I don't trust you. Now I'm questioning everything. You know how my mind works. I'm like, this is just be a waste of time. So I'm just never going to speak to you again. Like, it's just a waste of time.
That's so interesting. I never noticed that angle of why you do that. That's so interesting. Okay. Yeah.
What?
Why you're like, okay, that relationship is done. Like, that's an angle that I didn't know, is that you're like, you did the calculation and you're like, there's literally so much work ahead to... We're just not...
Yeah, it's just going to be... Yeah.
Why should we do this?
Maintaining fake relationships, to me, is like the biggest waste of energy I've ever seen. But it's a pastime that's like been exponentially multiplied now because of social media. So now you have all these different dynamics. I can talk to you without seeing my body language, so I can still talk to you. I can hate your guts, but you won't know because I'm just texting. It's just in text form, so you could potentially think we're still all good when in reality I'd smack the shit out of you if I saw you. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, I don't believe in keeping dead relationships on life support. Let them shits die. We'll see each other again at the resurrection, inshallah. You know what I'm saying? But this kid is talking about like some real deep pain that he was going through. And yeah, there's some people in his life who, hey, XBM is here. There's some people in his life who, you know, she just couldn't come through for him. And for that girl, we don't know what she was dealing with. You see what I'm saying? You don't know what she was dealing with. You don't know what his issues triggered in her and all the rest of it. So it's not, oh, you left him at the, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Solid 9 for me.
Yeah, and it might be that she did the calculation too, and she was like,
exactly,
hey, his lifestyle, this is never going to change. This is going to happen more and more, and then he's going to have all
we don't know how many apologies he had to do for her. You know what I'm saying? Because if you grew up in that context, and I guarantee you have a bunch of, it's very true of me. You get a bunch of pathologies and stuff that people are tired of.
Yeah.
It could very well be, man, she's just sick of your shit. Oh, here you go. You have another problem. Like, if you came to me in 10 years from now, like, another problem, I'm out of here. I would understand. I wouldn't blame you and say, oh, you're some horrible person because you couldn't deal with my shit anymore. I would understand. Okay. This is solid 9 for me.
9.2.
There you are, dear listener. We got one more song for you. This has been
up.
what an interesting night. We'll come right up, losers.